Listen, I don't have a title for this, and we're a little bit unorganized. Fab texted me yesterday. Fab is here. What's going on, Fab? Give it up for Fab.
What's
right
up,
now,
up?
Ebro in the morning, taking over the all.
I feel doubt in that clap.
Wait, Fab. Scotty Beam and Fab is already arguing.
Already.
Like that clap just didn't feel right. You gotta watch when you know what I mean, when you toasting and people is like looking away at the
no
toast.
eye contact.
You know, when you accepting your awards and people is clapping like this, like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
so listen, what we doing right now, listen, Fab, hang on. What we doing right now on Hot 97 is a special holiday situation because Fab normally takes over our holiday season. There's always a tape. There's always some sort of movement.
You know,
and we have we have two major announcements. We're going to premiere a record in about 20 minutes. Y'all hang on for that. I don't know the name. I ain't even heard the record. This is all Fab's time. I need a title for this segment, though, that we taking over. It's the Christmas All Mix Weekend on the station, but is this like the Loso, in case you ain't know so, holiday classic? Is this the Fab holiday takeover? Is this Christmas time with Fab?
Hot OG Christmas, man.
The Hot OG Christmas.
Yeah.
All right, it's the Hot OG Christmas takeover with Fab. I like the title. Scotty Beam's here with us. Laura Styles is gone. Rosenberg's gone, but we here. Fab Tech, so we come to work. What you trying to accomplish today,
Rosenberg celebrate Christmas?
They go away on vacation. You know,
okay.
They put up a tree.
They put up a tree.
Because
his wife is just like Christian or whatever. So his wife is Christian. They put up a tree, but then Jews usually eat Chinese food on Christmas. That's like a thing, right?
Word.
Yeah, because Chinese food delivers. No, Chinese food delivers on Christmas Day. So if you're looking to get a meal and you don't celebrate Christmas, Chinese food is always delivering.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. Y'all looking at me crazy. That's a thing.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Chinese spot, like, they open no matter what.
That's what I'm saying. So you got that. So Fab, this is your hour, man.
Okay.
So I wanted to play. I wanted to talk Summertime Shootout with you because I think of the tapes that came out around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I believe yours and Badu's were the best tapes.
Yeah. I gotta check the Badu one. I heard a lot of talk about her joint too. I heard there was some covers on there that she did that was really dope. It struck interest in me just her doing a mixtape. Period. Like I've never.
I mean, it was
heard.
on iTunes.
Oh, okay,
you know what I mean.
It was the new generation. Mixtape.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool.
And you know how she's like a DJ. What's her DJ name, Scotty B?
Oh, it's too long. I don't remember.
That's your Idol, so I figured you would know.
No, it's too long. Idol? Why do you go so far? You take it to a place. Like, I adore Erykah Badu. I really enjoy her music, but Idol is a reach. I love her. Idol is nuts. But again, we're talking about Summertime Shootout.
Yeah.
Okay.
So aggressive.
Yeah.
I'm not aggressive. I'm just saying, like,
that
you just
real
love
aggressive.
to put words in my mouth, and I'm like, let's
Fab,
not do
For the
it.
start, it was the clap. It was.
Come on,
she's got an attitude problem.
I don't
All right,
have
so look, I want to. Scotty Beam, do you have any favorite
You gotta be
songs?
careful. People gonna be in the comments after this. You gotta.
I know, and I love Erykah Badu. I have nothing bad to say about it, but I just want to make it clear.
Sounded like you were slandering Black Girl Magic to me. That's what it sounded
I'm
like.
the queen of talking about Black Girl Magic.
Coming for Black excellence.
Nah,
it didn't sound like you was exalting the Black Queen like you supposed
You're
to.
trolling.
I mean, that's what it sounded like
You're
to me.
trolling. No, it don't. Lenny, don't shake your head. Yes.
Ooh.
No.
All right, so anyway, Scotty Beam, let's get to some Summertime Shootout. Fab, you got a favorite 2 joints off Summertime Shootout? I know it's hard to pick, but I have my own, but go ahead.
Real one, you know, that Lauryn Hill sample just screams at you.
Which you think she would have ever cleared that sample for you? Because you know she's notorious for not clearing samples or usage of her voice.
But I actually just had been having some conversation with Lauryn and you know, Lauryn is really cool. Like, I had to even say it in the convo, like, yo, you cool as hell, Lauryn. Like, you know what I'm saying? I of course you hear stories, and you know, I never had dealt with her on that kind of level. So, you know, I want to, you know, even to pay homage and give respect, you know, because, you know, sometimes you use people's records, they feel a way that, you know, they weren't reached out or they wasn't, you know. So I wanted to reach out to Lauryn, and I also during the summer, I had her son was turning 18, and he had a party, and they reached out to us to do his party. So, you know, out of just respect for Lauryn and, you know, how much I love their music, you know what I mean, I went out there and did it for them. So, you know, coming back to the record, once I had got the beat, I was like, oh yeah, this is this is not only a dope song, but I just it seemed like it was just lined up. You know what I'm saying? I had just did the party, and then I had just got the beat, and so when
Who did the beat? Who did the beat?
This kid named Automatic. New guy. I work with a lot of new producers too. Like, you know what I mean? I like their energy. They keep flooding your email with beats, and you know what I mean? I'm a type of guy where I actually listen to it. You know, if you don't hear back from me, that means I didn't like it. If you get a response back, that means you should get excited. Yeah.
One thing I notice about you, notice about the mixtape is you give a lot of upcoming artists a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wanted to know, how does one upcoming artist like get your attention? How does that happen? Like, I see you have Dave East on there.
Yeah.
I love dude. He's really good. He's a really talented dude. I just want to know how, or producers, do you go through the emails? Do you?
Yeah, I mean, usually it's through some kind of referral or something too. You know what I'm saying? I can't listen to the million rappers and the trillion producers that we have now.
So who listens mostly to the beats that come through?
Marley, my boy Marley.
Okay.
Cause Lenny gets some stuff through.
Lenny doesn't work anymore. Huh? I remember back in the day, Lenny used to do work.
I mean, Lenny used to be a foot soldier.
Remember
you know
that?
what I mean?
Man,
Now he has a gold
days.
office and all of that. You know.
He does. So you telling me
progress.
Lenny S, famous Lenny S, who is responsible for amazing albums,
Yes.
does not lift a finger or put his earlobe to any music any longer. That's above.
Nah, I wouldn't say
that's
that.
below his
I
pay
wouldn't
grade.
say any. I wouldn't say the word any. You know what I mean? It just has to be fine-tuned. By the time it gets to him, it has to be really there.
Listen to him in the background grumbling. We don't know what you're saying right now, bro. We just know you ain't really working. That's what we know.
Yeah. But it comes through. It you know what I mean? It's filtered. It gets to me. I hear it. A lot of stuff I hear, sometimes I don't like it. I just don't, you know. But when I hear something, I like it. You know, from Dave East, I had, you know, got wind of it through multiple people who he was around, and I just checked out his tape, and it felt real. It felt like real classic New York. You know what I'm saying? Even though as young as he is, it's like cut from the cloth of New York from before, and so that took interest to me as well. And you know, when I got to link with dude, he was a real cool dude, and you know, so that went a long way right there.
Humble, hardworking dude.
Yep.
Ready. So let's get to Real One.
It's my
Then you
favorite
want to
song.
play
Oh
that?
wait, Real One has a new person that.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up before you started.
Go ahead.
Her name is Jazzy.
Yeah, I was watching her. She like performed in a room.
Yeah.
And I was just listening to her. She's really great. How did you go about finding her?
How did I find Jazzy? Oh, I found Jazzy through social media. I think she DM'd me, and it was just her conversation was just like she already knew me. Like she was like, "Yo, when we doing this song, like just really just, you know what I mean? I don't want to tell a secret now. Everybody gonna come through my DM thinking that's the, you know what I mean?
So
but it was just
Jazzy
something
creeping
about
in
her.
Fab's DM.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I guess you could call it.
Don't
She
let that
slid up
turn
in the
into a
DMs,
blog
but,
post.
Yeah, not that kind of slide. You know what I mean? It was a safe slide. It wasn't a, you know what I mean, trying to get slid.
It was
slide.
a respectable
Yeah,
slide.
it was a cool slide. You know what I mean? So she just talked like we had knew each other, like as artists, like as peers, like yo when we work. So I actually just went on her page and I just clicked on her thing, and I heard something from that first thing I heard. I liked it, so I wanted to hear more. And then that's when I went to her SoundCloud and I listened to a couple joints on the SoundCloud, and then I actually just hit her back, and she was like, yo, she said she was somewhere like at a concert or something, and it just came up, My Fabulous Life has to reply to something. And she was like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know what I mean? When she told me the story, I was just like, yo, that's crazy. You know, she was like, that's the same thing I said, yo, that's crazy. And we just linked, and you know, that was one of the first things I brought on. I played that joint, and she was like, oh yeah, this is dope, and she put it to it. And I think she added a different texture and energy to the song as well. So
yeah, it's really good just to hear that, you know, artists like you give upcoming artists a chance. You know what I'm saying? They think that it's impossible
artists
for people.
like him now.
No, artists like any artist, big artist.
Oh, he's a big artist now.
Yo, get out of here.
Yo, because coming
Where's
up,
that
we're gonna play.
argument
coming up. We're
Coming
gonna
up,
have
we're
this
gonna get
talk.
into it because
Okay.
Scotty Beam is what I
Yep.
call a fab doubter. And there's some of them here
I
in New
knew
York
I sensed
City.
doubt in that clap. I
Because
knew it.
we're gonna play Real One, right? And then after that, we'll play the joint with Dave East,
Summertime
Clean.
Madness.
Yeah, we'll get that on, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about Fab Doubt.
Right.
One of the best artists, greatest artists to come out of New York City in the last decade.
Right.
Accomplishments upon accomplishments.
Right.
Great tapes. He never fails us.
Ebro, it's okay. I'll throw you under the
Yeah,
bus.
and
too.
still,
Sip my water through
yeah,
all
and
of these
still, you
people.
have
Okay.
25ers
keep
like
going.
Scotty Beam that doubt the God Fab.
No, I never said I
It is the
doubted.
Loso Holiday Classic. Wait, no, the Hot OG
Holiday
takeover.
Yeah.
Every holiday season, how many years you put out a tape now?
I think we about 3 or 4 in.
Annual.
Yeah, annually.
Annual
Whether
tapes.
it was Soul Tape or There's No Competition. There's No Competition 3 one year. It was Soul Tape on Christmas. It was Soul Tape on Thanksgiving one year.
You're consistent for New York.
Yeah, I actually tapped into that little holiday thing because people are just home, you know what I'm saying? And they sitting around and most people don't have to work and you know what I mean? So it became a ritual just to get them that tape because everybody's sitting there. People wanted some new music. People want to zone out from their families sometimes. Some people, and commute to their families. They wanted to listen to music. And I remember from the 90s, like everything that I was doing in the last year or so, I was tapping into like stuff. And so the 90s, the fourth quarter was a very big quarter. People used to come out. They would be fighting for this December month because it was a big time for shopping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Big CDs were sold. You did big numbers. Even though January was a dramatic drop because you spent all your money. Ain't nobody spending no more money anymore. But that December month was so big, it was kind of worth it.
Because it's like if people buying stuff, let's make sure my stuff is up there so people can.
And
cop.
you're out. Yeah,
Yeah.
people are out.
Yeah.
Even shopping for others. So it's like when you go to Target, if you see your joint on there, somebody end up throwing it in the basket, even though they was there for paper towels and you know what I mean. So that's why that works. So I turned that into the mixtape avenue of releasing at that time because people are sitting home, they on their laptops, they on their phones, and it was a great time to you put some new music out.
And I mean, I hear you talking. I mean, that's consistency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're a consistent artist out of New York at a time when people always like to talk about how New York is not present. And you consistently, as an artist over the last 15 years.
I don't think New York has little spells and moments, you know what I'm saying, in the last, 10 years. But that word that you just said, consistency, hasn't been here in a minute. So, you know what I mean?
But you, sir, are consistent.
Me,
Despite
but it's still,
the
I'm
doubters.
only one man. You know
But
Right,
despite
right.
the doubters, you still make sure you step out and you
Here's
give.
my thing.
Wait, Scotty,
Here's my
Scotty,
thing.
wait.
Here's my thing.
Scotty, just
'Cause
wait a second.
You keep
Will you
going,
wait a second?
and I'm ready.
Because Fab always comes through with something.
Okay.
And
Then
people
why-
doubt
okay.
him.
Doubt is extreme. I think you're an overlooked rapper.
Right.
I think a lot of people overlook your talent.
You included.
Me. Simply because.
So how can you state it and overlook it at the same time?
State what?
You said I'm an overlooked rapper, but you
You're
said
an overlooked
including
people.
me.
I think that you're overlooked. Yes.
And you overlook
So how
him.
do you overlook me if you can?
No,
make the,
I don't think. No. I think that you're an overlooked artist. I do think that. Absolutely. I went to school in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Okay. When I went to Atlanta, I came over there and I was like, hey, y'all listen to this new, Fab, whatever. Nobody was listening to Fab.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What years with us?
I think
This
New
was
York
08.
as a whole isn't really, and a lot of as New York started becoming isolated a little bit. Like our sound and our music was more, just New York music. It wasn't being played in Atlanta or Texas or
Right,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
I would also appreciate if you would come out and show people in different states your New York talent. You know what I'm saying? Because the songs are good. You make great hits. Everybody knows that. You make wonderful hits. But you didn't go to those different states to show what New York has to offer because we don't have a lot of people. We don't have a lot of talent. I mean, we have a lot of talent, but again, New Yorkers don't show a lot of love for a lot of people. That's a different story for a different day.
New York is New York City's jaded.
It's isolated, man.
It's isolated, it's jaded, it's, cynical. We don't always uplift our own. We don't buy tickets to the shows.
But we constantly
constantly
complain about us not having
Right. That's
somebody
why I don't
here.
make any more like New York back records. A few times people have reached out to me to do I don't want to make New York back records. Like I don't feel like that's needed. I feel like New York needs to consistently make great records. And that's stating that New York is back in itself.
I think people overstate the regional desire of the consumer, right? You have the industry that talks about New York. I think the consumer just wants great music.
Right.
They not thinking.
That's what I mean. Like you need to just make good records
Yeah.
that perform in every region. instead of you making a New
But I
York.
mean,
How's a
people
New
who
York
live in New
record
York-
New York back record gonna translate in L.A.?
Yeah,
Nobody
but even
wants to-
people who live in New York that go
They don't
out,
wanna
they
hear
don't,
that.
they
Right.
not, they to them they getting music that they like and they
Right.
friends like and they kicking it and they having fun. You have the kind of hip hop industry of New York and the people who are fans of real rhymes and
Right.
real bars who are like, yo, we need New York bars, we need real bars back. But I think for the average person just loving music, they not thinking regionally. They just thinking, all right, who's got great songs that I like?
Right.
And I think a lot of people are stuck in this 90 era. I understand you appreciate 90s, but you have a way of making your sound relevant. A lot
You don't even like Fab
no,
like
no,
that.
but you have a
I'm
relevant
tired of this
sound.
spin you
No,
trying
no,
to
no,
do,
I'm
man.
not
I'm
doing
trying
no
to be
spin.
patient with
no,
your
because
spin,
you're
man.
trying to
It's
sit
taking
there.
me too
No, you're
long.
trying to sit there and trying to troll and do some shit that I'm not cool with, Ebro.
Man,
like I don't
look,
do
man.
that.
Look,
What
ain't
I'm
nobody
talking about
trolling.
is,
You
no,
doubt
you're
Fab.
trolling. Yes,
You
but I'm
doubt
not. But
Fab.
I'm not gonna be sitting here and thinking, saying that he don't make relevant music when he makes
ain't
big
nobody
hits.
brought relevant up.
Obviously, so he makes relevant
Why you
music.
getting
because
so
it's
upset?
Because you keep on trying to troll me because I'm not Laura Styles, bro.
What's that mean?
Because you keep on sitting here trying to troll me.
What's
I'm
that
not doing
mean?
that. I want to talk about music. I can talk about music.
Yeah, but you doubt Fab,
All right,
and we have
finish
Fab
your
dropping
point.
a premiere
it's not my
today,
point.
and
I
you
just
doubt
wanted to
Fab
say-
like
I
a
just-
lot of other people.
I just wanted to sit here and try to say and ask, like, what does it take? Like, how do you go about trying to find that relevant sound instead of staying in the 90s? Because a lot of artists think that staying in the 90s is a thing. Like,
I'm not really trying to do either one of them. I'm not trying to like make a relevant sound or trying to stay in the 90s. I'm just really doing music as I see fit, that I see is comfortable to me, what I like to, messages that I like to come across, things that I see, things that inspire me, things that are relatable to other people. That's what I make music on. Like when I say even bringing 90s things in it, it's certain things that were going on in the 90s that are missing today, which would be brand new to a generation that wasn't around during 90s hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I did my birthday party, I called it the Platinum Party because back then they used to have, that was their celebration of, it was a platinum party because people were going platinum then, like, you know what I'm saying? But now there's very few people going
Very
platinum.
few.
So, and they just don't even have a plaque. That was a celebration then. Like it would bring the plaque out, people would be there, everybody would dress up. That was the dress up parties then. So that was kind of, we just taking little things from there and just bring it into this generation and making it fun in that state.
and
But
you
I'm
being
not
true
like,
to you being true to Fab though.
Yeah.
You being true to your style.
because I grew up and off of that music as well. So, but
Right.
I'm not trying to really recreate something that was. I'm trying to just bring something that's missing and bring it to this generation as well. So, I'm one of the few people that could bridge the gap between that because I actually kind of came in the game in the late 90s and, but I grew up on 90s hip hop. But I also know what's going on today, whereas I could, cross the 90s to what's going on in 2015 as well. And there's not many people that could do that. There's not many people that the kids are going to pay attention to from that era unless they, just fans of them. And there's not many people who the 90s people would even respect to, preach to give it to the younger guys. You know what I'm saying? So it makes the connection on both sides. And I just try to, in between there, do the music that I like and think that will work for me. Like I don't try too many. I do experiment on, different sounds and stuff too, because that's part of, making music as well. But I don't try too many things that are out of my way. I try to just do things that fit me, you know what I mean?
Right.
My versatility.
So let's get this premiere on before I scream on Scotty Beam now that you're done. So we're gonna play your record, then I'm gonna come back and spaz on this one right here for getting too hype and feeling herself. Right? Because she's a Fab daughter. Now she's coming for Laura Styles, and we're gonna leave all this documented. We're leaving all this documented so I can fry your ass in a minute.
you never.
No, we're gonna
like,
fry
no,
your ass.
No, because you want to
So
throw
listen,
me under the
shut up
bus.
for a second. Off with your mic. We're gonna get this premiere on. So tee up this premiere for
All
the
right.
people.
The new record is called New Gambino, and it's produced by Mark Henry. It's also featuring Jazzy.
Mark Henry, the wrestler?
No. Mark Henry, the producer, the Creep producer, Mark Henry. He's out of DC, another new guy. He been working with me. Another thing I do is when producers be, they work with me on the mixtapes and stuff like that, I also give them a shot to work on, the major projects as well. Like I don't kind of like B-list certain producers and, let them only work on mixtapes and stuff like that. But That's where he came from when I was doing the mixtape, when I was doing soul tapes and stuff. Mark Henry sent me some beats, and I've been working with him ever since. And he produced this joint for me. It's actual flip of Wu-Tang's Wu Gambino.
Yeah.
So we called it New Gambino, and it's featuring Jazzy, who's on the real one. And it's a real dope record, man. I teased it a little bit on Instagram. People was feeling it a little bit, so
let's
now
do
it's
it.
a real thing.
Yo, Juanito, we're going to have to spin this back a couple of times. Let's do it, man. It's the Hot OG
Holiday
Takeover. It's Hot 97, Ebro in the morning. Scotty Beam still mad.
I'm not mad. And what I meant by I'm not Laura Styles is
It's love,
no. What
Scotty,
I'm not.
it's love.
What I meant by that is because I'm like, of course I'm younger, and you know Ebro also
How old
thinks
are you?
I'm 25.
25.
Yeah. And you know Ebro.
25-year-olds make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, I make a lot of mistakes, of course. But what
Yeah,
I'm
you live
saying
and you
is,
learn.
you know,
Don't look at her like that, Lenny.
I'm not Laura Styles, meaning, you know, you can't. Just because I'm not Laura Styles, you can't like joke on me or troll on me. Like,
what is the Laura Styles? Does he
I do
joke
that
and
to
troll
everybody.
he
Laura?
doesn't,
I do it to
he doesn't
everybody.
troll Laura.
I do it to everybody. I troll Laura too, and Rosenberg. I do it to
Yeah, no.
everybody.
Laura's got
And by the way,
Laura's
check this out.
doing pretty. She got her own Pop Tarts
Yes,
up
Check
there.
this out.
Poppin'.
Laura gonna feel some type of way,
Poppin'.
and I'm gonna check this out. Here's her real problem. And this is a real thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's a real thing. Back to Fab. These 25ers, they got this internet thing, and they really think they artists is moving. And these flash in the pan ass artists is just like get flash in the pan ass careers when motherfuckers get thirsty too fast, right? And so when I'm telling you, you doubting Fab, the reason I'm bringing it up
I'm
is because now we
talking.
have Fab here,
Right, and I'm talking to him, and I'm
you
trying
dodging
to
the
explain.
question.
I'm not dodging
You
the
dodging.
question, but you want to sit there and troll on me, and
'Cause you dodging.
And no, you're just trolling.
No, you
No,
dodging.
you're sitting there and you're making it sound like I have a problem with
No,
Fab, and I
no.
don't.
I would've
And
said
I
you- I
was
don't
never
feel that
did.
way. I don't feel
And
like you have a
was-
problem, no.
I was never that way.
The youngsters, B.
But like I always felt
But
like he
you're
always
a little
said that.
younger, so you might have, like, even how you saying I go to Atlanta a lot, so even I may not have as many shows or many appearances there as, you know, New York or the Eastern, what's the name, but I've been there, so even it just could be in your generation, you know, y'all in other places too, generation and regionally, like y'all don't get the same, like New York. They kind of know what I do here. It's not even, you know, a question. But other places, they may not get it in as much doses as New York. You know what I'm saying? I could put out something here, and New York receives it way quicker and than Atlanta or Texas or LA, or, you know what I'm saying? And that's just based on where I'm from. So I think, you know, people from other places, they may not get as much of a dose, but at the same time, we had an internet, we have things that other ways that people can get your music and get to know you through social media and
Right.
stuff like that. So that's always a blessing in that same. If we didn't have those things, it would be even a bigger distance. You know, people in Atlanta would really never, like, when I go to Atlanta, the most I hear me when I'm there, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, like, when I go, I'm sure, like, my peoples will tell me, like, yo, they don't play that. Like, when you in the club, when you there, they play all your joints, and I see the reception when I'm there. But when you go away, you know, you're not as fresh on their mind, or they don't play you all the time there.
And we got another New York record today with this new Gambinos. I want to run that back
Right.
one more time. You know, because then Cats is obviously going to be on
I'm
that
trying to get rid of
stuck
the
in
doubt.
the 90s and et cetera, et cetera. Meanwhile, they got mad artists coming out right now, new cats, that's trying to recreate that same energy.
Right.
But then they want to doubt cats that's been around for a long time. It's just young bucks, man. They learning, man. They learning.
They will.
It's a tough road, man. It's a tough road. It's the Hot OG takeover here, Hot 97 Fab. I got to talk to you. So Davies is on the album. So I would assume that you figure out of New York City right now, he's the guy. The premier new guy.
I feel his energy is heating up. I don't know. It's different. It's different times, man. It's different. I felt like at a time, you know, Action Bronson had his thing moving. I feel like Joey Badass had a great energy move. But this is the thing too with the process of how music moves now is different too. So, the internet has almost turned into the streets where, you know, before, you know, you heated up in the streets, it was felt, it was seen more, where the internet, you could be hot on the internet and really not that hot in the streets, so to say, like, you know what I'm saying? Or you could do you could perform for those internet crowds or those events that they come out to, but then you could walk down the street and nobody really know you. You know what I'm saying? So it's different in that. Like when I was on Clue mixtapes, like I would go to a mall and people would mob me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was a different, or everybody knew it and had it. Whereas it's different.
It's
now.
more scattered now. It's, you know, and that's kind of like everything, right? You could get content everywhere. You get people claim they listen to the show all the time. They only see it on YouTube. They never even turn on in the car. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's just how people get to the content. So let me ask you this. Of the year 2015, who you think had, artist-wise, give me 2 or 3 artists you think had the best year 2015. We're going to get on some records
from New York now. Or just
in general, in hip-hop in general?
I would say Future had a big year. Of course, I think Drake had a great year. I would even say Meek had a big year just as all around all the things that was going on with him. Even from the Drake beef to him putting out and doing 200 and #1 album to the Nicki situation. You know, he had a lot of things going on, you know what I'm saying? Whether they were positive or negative, him almost going to jail, all kind of things were around him.
I think that's still pending, right, Scotty Beam? The Meek Mill jail.
He's still he has to chill until I think February 5th.
And then they got to go back to court?
Sentencing.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, we hope that Meek Mill is a friend of mine. I hope that it goes in the right direction for him. I think he's a young artist, man, and he's experiencing all of these things for the first time. He's from a young, aggressive city of Philadelphia, and is turned him into the person that he is too. And then now he has to make the next transition into now him being an artist and him being a man, a father, all of those things. So I think if you allow him enough time, it you know what I mean. Sometimes how they say when people are institutionalized, like it don't always help them. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if something like that helps Meek Mill. You know what I'm saying? Like he needs time to really see what's going on and live it out here and not go back in there that'll turn him into again like these people won't let me
and that
live
gets him off focus, breaks his spirit. You know what I mean? Takes away his
it slows people down, man. It slows you know what I mean. There's a lot of artists to me have went to jail, and some people have bounced back. You have Tupacs, and then you have people that I don't want to say nobody names, but that just don't flourish after they come out. It's just not the same.
Well, sometimes just too much time has passed.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's hard for them. And then on your album, on the Summertime Shootout, you did the plug.
Yeah, that tape had like a story to it. Right. So it was all from a story of this summer, and Narcos came out this summer. Yeah. So the plug really was, played off of Pablo Escobar being the ultimate plug, and that's where that came from. I went to Colombia, I shot the video out there, and experiencing that whole thing. Like I get knee deep into stuff. So once I did that, and I was like, well, let's go to Colombia. Let's really go out there and see. We went to Pablo's, brother's crib, which they turned into like a Pablo museum. We went to different places. We went to a zoo. We took a helicopter over to a zoo and, seen
so all that stuff is still there?
Still there. All the stuff is still there.
I wanted to know what your studio process is like when you're making a mixtape. You know what I'm saying? Are you one of those kind of people who sits in the studio all day and
I do.
Like lock yourself in for like days at a time?
I do, man. I sit in the studio, and even if I'm not recording, it's put on. I'm putting on my thinking cap for everything that goes around it. You know what I mean? The process and the artwork, the how I wanna release it, how I wanna lay it out with the videos or anything. Like I put all of that together, so I might be in there all day just planning on something, and then towards the evening I start recording. I miss a lot of like features and stuff sometimes because I'm just locked in. I'm so locked into my project, you know what I mean? If I'm just doing songs, I'm not that locked in. If I'm doing a project, I'm kind of locked into that project. So people be hitting me up, and sometimes I can get it done and squeeze it in just if my mind can just knock the song out real quick, but sometimes I'm completely locked in and I just can't, just lose focus. I'll lose focus for a minute just jumping back and forth. So like you said, I really be in there all day. Like and my spot is built to be really comfortable for me, almost like a man cave. So I really...
Is that the crib?
Nah, it's not at the crib. It's at this little spot, but it's built like
it's
like
the
you
house.
at the crib.
Yeah.
Really. And speaking about like features, what was the hardest? Like, who was the hardest to get as a feature, ever?
Ever? I don't know. I mean, anybody that was hard, I guess it either didn't happen, but anybody that happened, I don't think it was too. There's records that's been like you've had to jump through a few loops to
Political loops.
pull it all. Yeah, you know, clearances and stuff like that. But none of the features have actually.
Because
you're
not chasing nobody. Like you gonna ask
really,
again.
Yeah, I'll ask. You know, I put out there. Sometimes people are busy and they get the running and stuff too. And I think sometimes artists forget that too. People, you know, artists are running all around. They doing their projects. They doing, you know what I mean. I get sometimes the same gripe too, and have to, you know, start thinking about it and accept, like, you know, sometimes I like communication though. Even if you can't do it or you what's the name, I would like if you communicate back with me. I'm cool with it. I just don't like to be drifted off into at sea, you know, like the Wilson volleyball and Castaway, like, you know what I'm saying? Don't just leave me out there and you know what I mean? But other than that, if we got communication, like, you know what I mean, that's cool, and we can figure out for another time or something like that. I got a couple guys that I owe records to, and I feel like I owe them a record because I wasn't able to do it at the time that, you know, they were trying to do something.
I want to play some cuts off Summertime Shootout. I want to get into the joint with Trey and Nicki on it. Was that a record that you had already and was going to try to use, and then was like, you know what, I can't get this cleared because of the sample and things like that?
Mad long, and I couldn't get it cleared.
Yeah. And sometimes people don't understand that they'll say, why is the mixtape better sometimes than the album? Like you hear that conversation a lot with tons of artists.
Because there's a lot of pureness to a mixtape. Sometimes, you know, you don't have to go through the same hoops and obstacles with a mixtape. You know what I'm saying? You just really freely going in there and you just say what you want and do what you want, and you don't have to worry about, well, let's get cleared or this. You know what I'm saying? With an album, it's a deeper process and procedure.
That
and
fucks up the creativity sometimes.
Yeah, it does. And I think sometimes too, you also, which could hinder your creativity or how you put together an album, because you're thinking in a broader, you know what I'm saying? I used to think when I'm making records, like I have to make a radio record, I have to make a record that'll work on the West Coast, I need to make you know what I mean? That used to be the procedure in making an album. Now I don't think that's, you know, you can just be pure to your artistry and make what you want. But I think in those earlier times, you know, even when, you know, let's say the Ja Rule era, when Ja Rule had all those radio hits, you had to have a radio hit to be on the radio.
Yeah.
You was not making, you know, these turn up, you know,
just strip club
stinky
records.
leg. Yeah, he wasn't making those records, and they were making it to the radio. So I remember at that time, I think is when I made like So Into Yous and Can't Let You Go's and those kind of records, because you had to make a record that translated to radio, and then you could do your own thing and you know, make street cuts and different stuff like that. But your singles had to be in that direction. You know what I'm saying? And
So
even 50 came off of that, and he was singing a little girl.
Yeah, no, he had to.
You love me now. Like it was.
He was trying to get that Z100, that top 40.
His content
play.
was a little different, but he still knew the melodic bass that you had to, you know what I mean, come with. So.
Yo, let's get that on right now. I want to play that, and then I will play the plug too. It's Ebro in the Morning, Hot OG, Holiday. Yo, I'm having problems with the title, man.
Write it down for him, man. Write it down.
I'm having problems, man. It's Hot 97. We had a brief convo, Fab, about things you thought were great in 2015 as far as hip hop. So I want to we got Juanito right now. We're commercial free. I want to get on. I think we got to play the Meek Drake record, Rico, as we wrap up 2015. It was a great record, and that was the start of the whole issue, if you will.
I think that record made it weird for me after that. I never really listened to that record that much again after the beef happened.
Because I don't think a lot of people did.
It's a great record. Yo,
it changed the whole feel of that record to me. Like I like, that was one of my favorites of the album when I first heard it. But then after the beef brewed, I couldn't listen to them really on the same record.
It felt fake.
Ignoring
it. Felt fake.
It just didn't feel right.
Do you do you think it's because of the rumor, or I guess the speculation, or even the whole, what was his name, Quentin Miller?
Oh, Quentin Miller.
The whole thing. Did that sour it for you too? The idea that Drake didn't write it?
I really didn't know how that situation panned out, because they, you know, Meek had accused him of that. Then the Quentin kid came back and said he didn't write it, but then there was, I believe it was like
The
reference
song.
tracks or
Yeah.
something. For
I
it.
never heard the Rico reference. Did you?
No. I
There
know
was
the Rico
references
ones.
for other
Yeah,
10
yeah.
bands or
Oh, okay.
other records that was off. If you're reading this, it might be
It
too
might
late
be-
for you or
yes,
whatever it's titled.
yes.
I don't really know all the facts in it. I just know there was
I forget that
different
title
things,
too.
different points for both arguments. You know what I'm saying? I know, but I don't really know what was going on. And plus, Quentin Miller, I heard came out and said he doesn't write anything for Drake, and you know him being able to be in the same room for Drake was a pleasure for him and stuff like that. Like he just
He's not losing that spot. He want to co-write as much as he can.
How do you feel about that though? How do you feel about people writing rappers' rhymes?
Well, it's a different feeling. You know, when people write songs for people, people do write songs for people, and I believed at that. I believe that Drake was a person who writes songs for people as well. Like, and so I didn't know that situation, but in the whole sense of somebody writing songs for somebody, I understand it. Raps is also sometimes a little bit different, but we've all heard stories of different people who have wrote raps for different rappers and people accepted.
Ghostwriters all the time.
Yeah, I mean, people that y'all look up to as dope rappers in the game, they get lines from people and have, you know, 10 artists in the studio while they in there and creating and you know, and it's almost like compilation kind of recording. So I don't know where the fine line in it is, because now it's been accepted that people are taking it. For me, if somebody told me, you know, Jay-Z's Volume 3 was written by somebody, it would be a shock to me, because you know you looked at this talent of somebody who,
And it was so personal.
right.
Like the way the rapping was done was very personal. Like you listen to some of the Quentin Miller references.
But R&B records are personal too.
Right. Well, no,
So-
but like rap is, you know, Hove, you listen to Hove lyrics, like you feeling like that's the first person. Like you're listening to a story in first person. That's his experience, right? He's giving you that. It's
Right.
not just a love song, right?
Right.
Or like in the case of the reference tracks from Quentin Miller, I listened to those and I was like, well, these are just like turn up
10
records.
bands,
There's
10
50 bands.
bands.
He's not really
100
saying that.
bands.
Fuck it, man.
Yeah.
Whatever. But then you listen to like a Drake 6 a.m. in New York, or
Right.
you know, somewhere he's really, you know, or even the record when he fired back, like a back to back, or somewhere he's really
Yeah.
showing his skill set.
Right.
You
I don't
go,
think
okay, this
somebody could write 6 a.m. kind of thing for
Right.
you. Like that's even if you're talking to your person, but they are writers talented enough to write in your perspective.
Yes.
So then
Twister
it's a
was
fine
up
line
here
in that
talking
too.
about
Right.
Twister was up here talking about how much he wrote for people, you know,
Right.
back in the day.
Doesn't the rapper sit with the ghostwriter and like talk about what he's feeling and
Not
all?
always,
Okay.
because a
didn't-
lot of times when people write for Dre and stuff, they're nowhere near Dre.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they just write it, send it in, and you know a lot of people have been even like, you know, commissioned for that. But you already have a moniker of Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying? You know what
Yeah.
you could say. You could talk six folds. You could talk what he's been through. You know
Yeah,
some
Compton,
of the story.
heavy Compton
You know
talk.
what I'm saying? Yeah. So you don't have to really be there and have a conversation unless y'all are making a song in a certain direction where he wants to come to you and tell you about this. But if somebody says, yo, this is the beat and we want you to write a song for Dre, you pretty much know you're Dr. Dre, who Dr. Dre is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's get these records on. It's the Hot OG Holiday Takeover. I kind of like classic. I kind of like calling this a holiday classic because I know you're a
Ooh.
sports fan,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the holiday classic, and annually you come around with tapes, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like this
There's
could
a lot
be.
of games on today too, you know.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think they load it up a little bit.
They
It's
supposed
5
to.
games.
They supposed to.
You like the 5-game joint?
I'm with it.
Oh, okay.
I'm with all of that. I mean, you know, like you said, after a while, you get tired of talking to your family. You know, you need if the TV's loud enough, people just stop talking to you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know how you keep turning the volume
one
up?
of them uncles, he trying to talk over. He gets louder
Nah,
as the volume
nah.
gets up. You're like, this thing don't go up no more? Damn. Like he know what he doing.
So Fab, do you think? Let's talk hip hop. Kendrick Lamar, 11 Grammy nominations. I think the only person to get more was Michael Jackson, right? Is that Scotty Beam? Is that correct?
And then, and he's like named now #1 rap genius.
Is
So
that
from
according
mean?
to Rap
Rap-
Genius?
of course,
got it,
Rap
got it, got it.
Genius.
What's
What-
Rap Genius, that lyric site or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Meaning, I guess he's like the best lyricist out right
According to them.
Does Grammy nominations make you that, or
now.
are they
No,
just?
I think just lyrics. Just lyrics.
Oh,
No, but I think what he's asking you is Rap Genius is saying that's who he is, but Grammys ain't saying that.
Grammy's not saying it. I would.
No, is Rap Genius though saying that because of the
Yeah, that's what
nominations?
I'm-
That's
Oh
what I'm
no,
trying to make it.
I don't
okay.
think so. I don't think so. I think they just named him #1 rap genius today.
I think Kendrick Lamar is a great lyricist overall. You know, I think he paints integrity in his raps. I think he speaks on a message, but at the same time makes it not as dull as somebody who has spoken in the same space as he has.
It's not over
before.
preachy.
Yeah, it's not over preachy. It still has some melody to it. He changes his voice and almost a. Please don't take this wrong, but you know how Nicki Minaj changes her voice and
or
different
Andre
flows.
3000
Right.
too would change his shit too.
So you know, I think he has a couple different voices that he gives it to you in, and you know, it makes it keeps it exciting. It
Adds
keeps
personality.
Right.
What artist makes Fab step his game up? Who do you hear that's like, I need to redo
it's
this
not-
line,
it's
or
not
this shit ain't tight enough. Let me tighten my game up.
It's not always a certain artist. I'm now trying to make great songs. So when I hear great songs, I don't care if it's a hip hop artist, I don't care if it's Adele, if it's, you know, when you hear great songs, you be like, wow, man, I want to make great songs that touch people, or people relate to them, or people party to them, or people cry to them, or whatever emotion that people attach to those songs. That's what the goals are for me now. It's not just, you know, I can rap, I can put lines together, I can put current events in raps, I can, you know, flip something that I've said 100 times and keep flipping it in a different metaphor, like, you know what I'm saying? So, but songs is really now the challenge, really, you know, being able to do all those things that I said I could do, but put it in a good song where she says, you know, she can classify that as, you know, he makes hits, but, you know, you got to really connect with people with your song.
You said she as in Scotty Beam.
Yeah, Scotty Beam.
You making sure Scotty Beam accepts your bars.
Yeah, she said I make hits, you know what I mean?
Scotty
She said
Beam
that.
out here got Fab stepping his game up.
I mean, that's who you got to, you know,
You got to inspire
the
the
doubters.
please. Yeah, the
you know what I
doubters,
mean?
the
The
Fab
people who
doubters.
know, you know, you got to appreciate the people who know, but you aiming for the people that doubt. You know what I mean? You have to
It
aim for
keeps
them.
you sharp, my G. You know, it keeps you sharp.
That's what I sharpen my blade for, the Scotty B's of the world. That's what I do it for.
Yo, so Fab, today, well, it's Christmas Eve, but yeah, tomorrow was supposed to be a big day.
Yeah, I was supposed to drop the Young OG Project 2 on Christmas, but I needed some more clearance time.
Samples.
My samples weren't clearing in time. And the mixtape performed very well.
Might as well let it ride.
So I wanted to give it some
Let it
room to
ride.
breathe. I want to shoot some videos off it. I'm gonna push the Young OG project back to February, and use January to promote into February. You really don't notice how close Thanksgiving and Christmas are until you
You doing it, right?
yeah, until you actually like live it. You know what I'm saying? And I was content with doing it because I felt like, you know, you could just double up on music, and I still wanted my Christmas date. But then I saw, like, you know, some other factors, you know, the thing I didn't want the tape to get smothered by the Young OG project or have to just devote all my energy and time to Young OG. So we pushed it back, and it's really themed this time. Last time I kind of themed it over 90s hip hop, and like it was inspired by that, but this time it's inspired by 90s R&B. So I wanted to get people into that wave by coming in February. I just needed time to get people into that wave. I think the mixtape just coming in Thanksgiving, and then this would have came Friday. It would have
squashed
wasn't
the
enough
tape,
time.
and the tape is mean.
Right.
Of the tapes that came out, I'm telling you, this is my favorite tape.
Right.
Straight
Thank you.
up. There was a lot of bricks that dropped on that.
Because I
You know
think
what
people
mean?
was trying to just take advantage of the holiday thing that I like exploited, but not saying I'm just the one
No,
who
say
figured
it,
it,
say it, Fab.
you know,
Say it.
figured the Da Vinci
Talk
Code
your
or
shit,
something. But
Fab. Talk your shit.
I just think people just wanted to take advantage of it. You know what I mean? Like this. Let's throw out a tape, but
You was
nobody
trying to see Fab on the
put a real
holiday fall
project
back.
together.
The holiday is Fab's, is what he's saying. When he comes around the holiday season, everybody just fall back because
There's
this
so
shit's
many
gonna be
words.
consistent.
In so many words. Or if you're gonna do it, just do it. Do it for real. Like you
Don't
can't,
play around.
with
We
it.
ain't got time, cuz, is
Right.
what he's saying.
How can they be playing with it? Like, what does that mean?
Playing with it means like you just slop something together or put something together and
There's no theme.
give
There's
it.
no cohesiveness. There's no.
I think you know, do that with your tapes. Make sure that you putting it together for real. Don't you know, no disrespect to anybody who put out projects on them, but every time you putting out a project, this is a representation of you and your music and your brand. So you got to put it out for real. Like, you know, don't look at it like, oh, I'm just throwing out a tape.
I think people put too much shit on there too. Like, you know, there could be a lot of great music. Like I listened to Chris Brown's tape that he came out with. There's a lot of great music on there, but it was 35 joints. Like I can't. At a certain point, I started getting lost.
Yeah, the Game's joint too.
The Game had great shit on his album, right? But it's hard. Like you go through and you find a couple, and then like you try to go back and find some other ones.
And this ain't the '90s where you had time to sit and listen to 30 songs straight. So. Now you got so much to do. Social media is popping. You can't stop scrolling on your phone. You know what I mean? Things is going on. The kids are screaming. Everything is going on. And you got to try to hit even in a driving sense. Like it's hard to listen to 30 songs straight.
Well, it's hard to fall in love too because, you know, you're getting hit with so much information, right? It's like anything. When you get hit with so much shit off the top, you be like, yeah, wait, hold on, slow down. You know what I mean? So look, Fab. This tape or the album that you have coming in February, you said 90s R&B inspired and clearance issues.
Yeah.
Any information, collabos? What samples are you using that we can look forward to? Did you chop something differently?
I don't want to give them that this early. Okay. I don't want to give them the details yet. I definitely need a sample clearance time. I used a lot of, again, new energy. I used a few people that weren't new energy, but it'll feel new from you hearing them, you know, with me as well. You know what I'm saying? I always like, you know, different collaborations. I don't like to abuse a collaboration. You know what I'm saying? I like to, you know, spread it out a little bit sometimes if it is somebody that we do records with a lot. And I like new collaborations. I think everybody likes new. I think when you see it on paper, it makes you be like, oh, what's this? What's Fab and Anthony Hamilton sound like? You know what I'm saying? Like I like that kind of.
He just told it anyway, right?
Just a little
I don't want to tell him, but I'm gonna
just
tell
a little bit. You know what I mean?
Sorry, not sorry, right?
But you know what I want to go back to too? The two moments that we was talking about, 2015 moments, where the 90s thing came from with the R&B was my birthday party, and at the party we had a lot of artists from the 90s, and you know, Bad Boy, and you know, Case was there, Faith, Case, 112, who am I forgetting? Horace Brown, Lil Mo.
Yeah.
You know, that energy that we had at the party, you know what I mean? I wanted to do that because, of course, because we were doing the platinum party thing, but I wanted that feeling of 90s R&B. You know, you never seen those like memes, and people say like, if it ain't.
You mean memes?
Yeah, memes or meme.
No,
whatever
it's a meme. It's a meme, not a meme.
But it's spelt meme though,
yes,
right?
It is, but it's a meme.
All right.
It's a meme.
I don't know.
That's cool.
So I see those memes where it says if
they're
it's
gonna
not
destroy
90s,
you in the comments for that. You
I don't care. Like
destruction is song.
Yeah, destroy me for, you know.
Memes. People say memes though.
That's another thing too. I've heard people say it, so that's why.
I heard some newscasters say like, yeah, with the memes, and I'm like,
I've heard it, so that's why I never was. Nobody corrected me. Everybody just.
Yo, you gotta check
tomato,
the people
tomato.
around you. You gotta check the people around you. They not.
I mean.
You just said 1 second ago.
Anyway, there was memes that say, if it ain't 90s R&B love, I don't want it. Whereas R&B in that time was a different feeling. It was a different connection. It was less like turn up R&B. It was more like, you know, singing. And I saw that at the party where people connected to those songs. These is people that were 25, that were her age, or, you know, even younger, you know, singing these 112 songs because the, you know, singing and music connects. Yeah, they're timeless records, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to just spin that back around, and, you know, February seemed cool too because of, you know, it's Valentine's time, and, you know, R&B and Valentine's, they live in the same world. So, you know what I mean? It's just a lot of things that made sense for it to come in February instead of, you know, rushing it for Christmas Day.
So we might as well get on a classic Fab with Lil Mo, since you're talking R&B vibes.
Yeah, I got a lot of little R&B remixes. If you want to go down that lane, if you want.
What's your favorite, other than the Lil Mo that everybody loves?
I gotta say Lil Mo though, because that was like my first, you know, that was like my introduction to, you know what I'm saying? That was before people even knew what I looked like at first, you know what I'm saying? Where I'm still, people are saying, yo, I love this kid Fab, and I'm like, I'm Fab though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like trying to explain that it's me. And people love the song, and I got to see genuine opinions before, you know, people are in your face, you know what I mean, doubters that, you know, was doubting when they were in the other room, but now they you know what I'm saying? So I got to see those genuine reactions before people knew who I was. So I always, and Little Mo too, one key thing about the Little Mo collab was that at that time too, Little Mo was hot. So a lot of people were pressuring her to, you know, try to get Jay-Z because she was on a Jay-Z hook. She was on Ja Rule's records. And they were telling her to get those people. And she was fighting like, nah, I want to use this kid from this Clue mixtapes. Like, yo, he was being crazy. I want to use this kid. And they were trying to talk her out of it. Like, nah, man, like, get one of these guys. Like, this is your first single. You want to take off? And she was like, nah, I want it. And she kind of fought for it. They even put the record out first without me.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, it was Superwoman, just her alone, and then I think just for a little kick, they threw
Used the
mine out,
remix.
and then and that one started going, and now I'm here.
Let's go. Fab is here. It's the hot OG Christmas holiday, Christmas Eve classic takeover thing on Hot 9. I can't remember the title, Scotty Bean.
You remember.
Look, man, it's the holiday. Wait, no, let me try this again. It's the hot OG holiday classic. Fab is taking over this morning on Hot 97. Ebro in the morning's here. Scotty's Beam sitting in. You want to apologize to Laura Styles again for coming for her throat?
I didn't come for her
while
throat.
While she's not here?
I didn't come for her throat. I was just
can't
saying.
wait till she get back.
I was just saying.
Nice,
no, I was just saying.
Yo, these youngsters get real. You give them a little
always
shine,
get mean,
man.
like Laura Styles leaves, and then you want to be mean to me, and you're not mean to Laura Styles, but you're like,
She's
you will
trying to
bust
Brady
my
the
chops.
Bledsoe. She's
see
trying
it?
to Brady the Bledsoe,
No.
man.
Yeah,
You
you
just-
saw it. You saw it. You
No,
coming
man.
for a slot.
No, never. I would never come from Laura Styles' spot ever.
Listen, man.
Ever in life.
Just always remember how you get here is how you get out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Eve, since we're talking about doubting.
We
Because-
weren't talking about doubters.
We were talking about doubters.
No, we was talking about thirsty.
No, we was talking about doubters. We were talking
Oh,
about
earlier on the program.
Yeah, we were talking
Yes,
about,
yes,
hey,
yes.
you know, I doubted Fab, but word on the street is, and what I just heard is that you doubted Fab as well at Summer Jam.
That's not really how it happened. Lenny, that's
I
not how
heard-
it
I
happened.
heard-
There was a
So,
little
all
doubt.
right, so
There was
look,
a
I'm going to
little
walk you
doubt
through the
there.
whole timeline. I see Fab at what concert was we at? The Trey Chris Brown? Was that Trey
Yep.
Chris Brown standing by the soundboard?
Mm-hmm.
I walk over to Fab. I'm like, yo, Fab, for Summer Jam, I don't know if you're going to be ready, but I would love to do a Fab and Friends set.
Mm-hmm.
Fab was like, sounds pretty good, but let me really think about what that is. That was the first conversation.
Because
So
I
didn't
wasn't
doubt
sure what
Fab.
kind of friends you were trying to
like we didn't-
associate me with.
Yeah. And he's
I don't
like,
have that many friends. Like, you know what I mean? I'm particular about who I call friends when you put Fab and friends.
right.
You know what I mean?
So then we had a second meeting, right, Lenny? Yes, at your gold
The gold
at
office.
the palace
the
or
gold-
whatever that shit is. You
Yeah.
work. You don't even have a desk in your office, bro.
Nah, he does have a desk. He does have a desk.
You don't.
Lenny said,
It's
go
in the
back to the
cut.
story.
It's blinded by the gold couch, but it's really a desk over there. Like it's in the
So then we come back around and we start talking through what Fab and Friends would be,
right.
right? And so I gave, like I do with all artists, there's a set time. I think your set time was 25.
Yeah, I needed a little more time.
He was
We
trying to negotiate. That's the whole thing with Summer Jam. Negotiate for more time.
Mm-hmm.
And so then from there, you started putting together ideas, songs, artists, the whole thing. The doubt came in whether or not Fab, but his
team.
co-worker, Lenny S., would be able to manage the time and the guests coming in and out and on and off stage. That was the doubt.
But we told him if we are able to do this, it will be an epic performance. So we need you to work with us. That's what we
Not against us.
Sometime
Help us.
Some of the thing it felt like he wasn't working with us.
Is that true, Eve?
Absolutely. It's absolutely true. It's absolutely true because I was like, yo, this artist, yo, they notoriously late. They flake. It's going to fuck up everything. It's going to fuck up your time. I don't know about them.
So what happened after? Did you say, like, yeah, I ate my words?
No, what happened was they walked over to me and Lenny was like, yeah, fucker, see, I told you.
Yeah, we pulled
Don't
it
ever
off.
doubt me again.
We pulled
And I
it
was
off.
like, no, you did your thing.
We pulled it off. Shout out to everybody that came out. Black Rob, Fat Joe, Raekwon, Method Man, Redman,
Legendary.
Mobb Deep, Anybody I'm leaving off?
Some people
Mace.
say the best set at Summer Jam.
Mace.
Easy.
Yeah, it was really like I enjoyed myself, and it was my set. Like I was just there, like feeling like it was going good. The crowd was into it, everything. It was a moment, and that's what I was been trying to for the last couple Summer Jams that I've been a part of. I wanted to make my set a moment. It wasn't just about me. I've done Summer Jam a few times, so I look back at some of the guys who had classic Summer Jam. It was about moments, you know what I'm saying? When, Jay did the screen thing, or he brought Michael Jackson out, or, I think that's why even Nas was so mad at Hot when because y'all kind of took a moment from him, not to bring back a bad negative time.
But it was that
was his moment, and y'all
lynching a man on stage.
Yes,
was
that's
like,
a different kind of
we
moment.
was like, yo, hang on, wait, where's this going? Wait, we're gonna lynch a person?
Yeah, so it's about the moments, man.
Hold on, fam. Nah,
There's sometimes too where the moments are lost. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to create a moment, it doesn't happen, or something becomes a moment.
And for the youngsters that don't know that history, in 2002, Nas was going to perform at Summer Jam. Things were very heated between he and Jay-Z at the time. And for his Summer Jam set, he was going to lynch a lookalike Hove doll, statue, something. And
how'd y'all get wind of it? It was like in a
because we got a
rehearsal or something, and
we got to build it. We had to build the lynching, whatever that thing is
scary
called.
Looking.
And at the time I was like, this is crazy. And the PD at the time was Tracy Clordy. She was like, yeah, nah, we not as a corporation gonna allow a black man to get lynched on Summer Jam stage for the sake of entertainment. That won't go over well anywhere. Shareholder, like PD, that's not. So Nas was obviously upset.
And I think that's something that you could pull at your show, like if it was just Nas's tour show, but like at
the station Summer Jam.
Well, yeah.
Well, and a lot of people, don't remember that.
He was
Power
mad
105.
because his moment was taken.
Power 105 had just come on. This was 2002, and they had just come on March 2002. So this was that summer. So Nas gets pissed off. Doesn't perform at Summer Jam 2002 and runs up. I think he went on Steph Lover's show, right, at the time. And then starts shitting on Hot 97 and, being mad at us. And obviously 105 is going to use it, and run with it at the time.
But it was all based on those moments because you gotta have your moment. So Nas was trying to create his moment. He may have went a little too far, but that was his moment. And I looked at everybody, people who've had their moments at Summer Jam, what I mean?
Michael Jackson, Jay-Z.
Yeah, those are moments. They're gonna outlive just being at Summer Jam. They're gonna just be, Remember that time at Summer Jam they brought this one out.
When Swizz brought out Kanye West and they had the beat battle on stage. Are you privy to the Summer Jam crown conversations that happen after Summer Jam? Where it's like the New York City kind of hip hop hierarchy of like Hove, Swizz Beatz, Mike Kaiser, Lenny S. Who else is in that convo? Steve Stout. There's like a conference call that's happened or a share of emails about who had the best set. At Summer Jam, like everybody trying to outdo one another.
I heard about them. I don't.
Yeah, they don't involve you.
I don't. Yeah, I try to even be blind to them too because I don't want that being my basis of trying to live up to the Hove Kaiser.
Well, because Hove is gonna be like, yo, I'm the king. No matter what you do, you brought out Michael Jackson. Hove.
Yeah, it's like I brought out Mike. That don't top Mike. You know what I'm saying? That and he's gonna stand by that. You know what I'm saying? Only one I was upset. I tried to. One year I tried to have the Kim Foxy reunion. I think it was y'all 20th anniversary. And I don't want to go into the story of what I did happen or what happened, but that Summer Jam, the moment ended up being
it was still
Papoose stealing 5 minutes. And I was so mad that was the moment of Summer Jam. Like I was like,
yeah, but you leave that up. That's social media. You leave that up to them dummies on fucking Twitter to talk about.
But if that wasn't the what else was the moment? What else was the moment? Like I just was mad that it wasn't a great moment as the moment.
Right,
but that still outlived Wu-Tang being there. Like you know what I'm saying? That was more talked about and more energy was around Pap supposedly stealing 5 minutes, and he really ended up not stealing 5 minutes.
No.
And it was
Kendrick had 3 minutes left. He gave his mic to Pap. Pap walked out.
And didn't even get.
But you didn't even know that at the time, though, right?
I seen him standing there, but I didn't know Kendrick was gonna give him the microphone. I wasn't sure if Kendrick was gonna bring him out or what the whole scenario was gonna be, because I think, you know, A$AP Rocky and them was there, and they all kind of came out with Kendrick and all that too. So I wasn't sure how that was gonna play.
Right.
But I wasn't gonna cut the kid's mic off at the time, because I was like, well, there's 3 minutes left on the clock. Plus, I gotta turn the stage around. Gives me a little extra time.
That's the power of social media, though. Now, like certain flukes or different funny things become the moment instead of like Michael Jackson coming out being the moment, or you know, Kim Foxy, or the set of like something happened like, you know, the year with the Slow Bucks thing. That was the moment of that year. You know what I'm saying? Like certain things of that. Like I'd rather something, you know, at that kind of show, the something, a moment, like, you know what I mean, like something, a musical performance moment, rather than.
I think it's the, you know, when you care about music and you care about the culture, you hate when it gets overshadowed by an incident.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because those are just incidents. Those aren't really like, and a lot of times it's negative. You know what I'm saying? It's people poking fun at somebody, or you know, something happened to somebody, and that's the world we live in now, where it's like, you know, in the face of quality. You know, it's like we had the To Pimp a Butterfly conversation versus the Drake What a Time to Be Alive versus Future Dirty Sprite 2 versus these other. And there's a lot of people who are like, yo, the music that Kendrick put on To Pimp a Butterfly, it's too musical. It's too lyrical. It's too hard to listen to, right? And you start to go, wait a minute. Like, look, you can like different things. If you like Dirty Sprite 2, that's cool, but you can't.
They can't
delineate
digest that.
between the two forms of, you know.
Some people can't digest that.
And I think that's just a, you know, function of the world we live in, is reality TV, fucking social media, blogs, blah, blah, blah.
It's still some interest too. I think
when I listen to
Pimp, like that project as a whole was a well put together project.
Yes.
Was it my favorite album to listen to? No.
Right.
I can be honest and say that, like, you know, I listened to it more than once, but it wasn't like something that I rode around in a car to, or what's the name, because it's a different type of digestion when you listening to that project. You know what I'm saying? Like, I listened to it one time I was chilling. I listened to it one time I was like getting dressed, just to hear it in different forms. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a driving album. Unless you're on a long road trip. It's not like a driving through the city album. It's a sitting at the crib album. It's a, you know what I mean, Sunday morning album. It's a, you know, as albums go, it was easily, in hip hop, it was easily my favorite album of 2015 as far as a cohesive project. Right. The other projects that came out in 2015, I like a lot of songs on those albums, but as a cohesive project, you know, like What a Time to Be Alive is a collection of songs. You know what I'm saying? It's exactly what the title is.
And it's fun.
It's great. This is awesome. What a Time to Be Alive. Boom. You know, if you're reading this, is probably too late. It's a collection of songs. It was a tape. Like, you put it out as a mixtape. Dirty Sprite 2. You know, I can't listen to entire Future albums. You know what I'm saying? I like certain songs because I think too much of it starts to sound the same to me. You know what I'm saying? But I like Future's talent and I like Future songs, but as a body of work, you know what I'm saying? Same with Meek Mill. A lot of great songs on there, but as a cohesive project, I like the Dreams and Nightmares, the first one. Right. You know, as a cohesive project, and I like
Kendrick
some of Meek's
puts together good projects though, like as a whole. When I saw that from even the mixtapes, the like Section 80 and you know, those are I could listen to them. So when I heard those, I was like, well, when he get to the album time, like he's gonna have a whole project, like Good Kid, Mad City. That was. And then I knew he was over there with Dre, who comes from that whole Chronic and
sequencing the album,
the skits and all of that. So I knew that, you know, I'm like, yo, this first project has got it. It would be a letdown if it went from Section 80 to not a good project that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't expect anything less from him. So I think overall he definitely makes great projects as a whole.
Yo, look, Fab, it was good talking to you today, man. What do you do for the holidays? What happens in the Fab household? Because, you know, people try to get into your private life. You do a great job of curving blogs and making sure that your family and your lady and your kids and your situation is
because that's not really what I'm here to entertain. I know social media has opened that doorway, like with people, you know, showing, but I'm really here to make music and entertain through music. You know, certain things I share, you know what I'm saying, it's part of my life, it's part of who I am, but I'm not here to entertain y'all with my personal life, really. So, you know what I mean? I and on Christmas I do family shit, like, you know,
is it because, you know, some families do Christmas Eve. They open the gifts on Christmas Eve, they eat on Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day is kind of like a sit around do nothing day. Some people open the gifts on Christmas Day and have the, you know what I mean? Like some
Yeah.
people go to church on Christmas Eve and then get, you know, I don't. What's the fab?
Well, we just open the gifts on Christmas. I think, you know, we don't. We have like Christmas Eve. We chill and do things together as a family, but we don't really open any. I know sometimes people open, like you said, they open up one gift or something and then wait till the next day. We kind of just do it traditionally and just open up the gifts on Christmas. Some of my family still comes over. Friends start coming over on Christmas Day and, you know, exchange gifts and open gifts and, you know, watch the games.
What's your son? What'd you get for your son, your oldest?
This year?
Yeah, what do you want?
He's obsessed with wrestling right now. So
He's been upset. He tried to take Rosenberg out. We was at some show.
yeah.
He saw Rosenberg try to take him out.
Yeah, he's
went for it.
he's gonna jump on Rosenberg every time he sees him because he just knows he's in his wrestling world.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? So that's a funny world. Like I haven't been involved in wrestling since I was a little boy. So like, you know, going there and seeing, like, it's still a lot of adults that are involved. I went to when Wale was, like, I was just like, yo.
Wale's hard body with the wrestling.
No, the funniest one is there was a kid when we was growing up that was infatuated with wrestling, and I took my son to the Barclays to see SummerSlam or something in this summer, and I just hear somebody calling me, and I turn around and it's the kid from when I was a kid. I was like, yo, you still go to these shits? Like, what are you doing here? And he still goes. He's like, you know this is my shit. Like, man, you know I'm in here. So it was just funny, man. But my son loves it, so we got him a lot of wrestling thing. We actually did his room over, where his bed is gonna be a wrestling ring. I just set myself up for wrestling matches for, you know, nonstop. You know what I mean? Like, so we did his room over, and it's like a wrestling ring, and the walls are gonna be the crowd, and you know, he's gonna be ecstatic.
So that's his big gift.
Yeah, that's gonna be his big gift. I'm getting him other little things that I think he needs in his life. You know what I mean? But that's what's gonna be. He's gonna be worried
Let's
about.
work on his penmanship.
He may
you know
never
what I'm
leave that
saying?
room again. Like he's just gonna be in there, locked in, man. But
So
that's what about though.
And
I think it's about kids.
You just had
I had a little baby. He's 6 months.
Congrats, man.
So he's not in Christmas spirit yet. He's just still figuring it out.
Still
out here.
shitting and sleeping.
Yeah,
and eating.
he's just figuring it out. He don't know why these lights is all over. He's just looking around, and you know what I mean. He's in a precious state right now. So
you like the newborn that's first 6 months. You know, I'm a new dad, so you know I can have the father talk now. You know, you can.
Yeah.
You like the newborn, or you like the toddler, or do you like the 3+?
I like 3+ on the being able to do things and, you know what I'm saying?
Hang out with dad.
I like either the young baby or 3+, what's the name? That little area in between, like the 2s and what's the name?
That
they
like
kind of like
16 months to like 3 years old. Yeah.
That's the little rough stage right there. But then once they get past it, once they get like 3 or something, but my kids also have been very cool. Like I think they got that demeanor from me. Like my baby, he just chill. He really will just sit there. He don't cry much at all. He'll sleep the whole night. Like, you know what I mean? He wakes up in the morning like an adult. Like, you know what I mean? All right, he just needs something to eat, and then he chill. I might stay up, watch some TV. I might go back to sleep. Like, you know what I mean? He's like a big kid, man. So they pretty chill, man. And I've been blessed to do that. I don't have to wake up and do anything in the middle of the night and all that kind of stuff. So I heard stories about that, so.
Yeah, nah,
Did
I
you
didn't
have stories
I didn't
like
have
that?
that problem. Izzy slept through the night. You know, she at about 8 weeks, 8 weeks old, she was starting to sleep through the night. So we just kept letting it rock, and the pediatrician was like, she's getting enough calories. If you want to let her keep sleeping, don't wake her up. Change the diaper in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we just doing that, and that's been rocking.
That's my God, man. Everybody gets rest. Everybody gets sleep. Nobody's cranky the next day.
It's a beautiful
I'm
thing.
all for it, yeah.
Yo, Fab, man, congrats, man.
What are y'all doing for Christmas, though, before we
I'm eating, sleeping, watching football, basketball.
I'm spending time with my family. They're coming
from
to
Atlanta?
my mom's house.
She's from
No,
Jersey,
I'm
bro.
from
Jersey?
Yeah.
She's not from
So
Atlanta.
like
I
you
went to
hike-
school in Atlanta.
Oh, so
From
you
school in
got corrupted down there, then like you turned
Corrupted?
into like
Not really. I mean, I'm open to all types of music.
Except Fab.
I'm open to all types of music. So, you know, when I was trying to put people on to certain stuff in Atlanta, you know, they was like, you don't even come out here anyway. But we're not going to have this conversation. But
I thought that's what we were supposed to have earlier, that conversation
She
on why
dodged
you were
it.
like doubting.
She
Yeah,
dodged
she did
it. She
dodge it.
dodged
I didn't dodge it. I just told you why.
Because I
explained.
don't come out there?
No, I never was like a Fab fan.
When you was in Jersey?
When I was a kid, like what, you were out like 2002, 2001. I was 11. You know, you had some joints that had people shaking it up and
Shaking
you know,
it up.
Harlem Shake at your wake, all that. But I just was never. I like Summertime Shootout now.
Right.
I will say that. But before that, I just never been a Fab fan.
Cool.
Never been a Fab fan.
Fab Dollars is real, man.
I mean,
See, that wasn't that hard.
saving lives.
No,
every
that's
You didn't
not-
have to argue and come for Laura Styles. Or like
I
you did
never
earlier in
came
the
for
interview.
Laura Styles. Please stop saying that. No, I did not. I never came for Laura Styles.
You low key came from.
No,
Laura
I did
Styles.
not.
Low to the lowest of key.
No, Ebro just thinks he can say mean things to me
I
all the
wasn't,
time.
I wasn't mean to you.
Yes,
No, I
you can.
wasn't.
You think you can
I
always
wasn't.
throw me somewhere like a rag
I
doll.
did. It happened. We
Yes.
got it on video.
Yes. But anyway, yeah, it was
Yo,
a pleasure talking to you.
One more time. New Gambinos.
New
Let's get this
Gambinos.
new
One more
record on
time,
premiere
man.
for Fab.
Summertime
Juanito
Shootout.
Hella.
Download that.
Yeah, and then the what's the new project is gonna be called Young
The new
OG,
The Young OG Project 2.
and that's
coming.
That's Valentine's.
That's
Day.
February, Valentine's.
Yo, Fab, man, good talk, man.
Thank you, Ebro.
Yeah, man, and come
Appreciate
back when
your
the
time.
album drop, bro.
Appreciate your time,
And
too,
Scotty
Scotty.
Bean, we gonna, she
Yeah.
gonna pay her respects.
Yeah.
I always pay my respects. I'm never disrespectful. Never been. Never been.
I mean,
Never
yo, give it
been.
up for Fab, yo, give it up. Love. Scotty, you better clap harder.